Hello everyone. So in this video we will learn how to create to-do list from new Trello cards. So imagine this, you have created a new card in Trello. So you have entered the description, set the due date, a perfect Trello card. Now your idea is to create a list in Basecamp using the details from the same Trello card. So here you have two choices. The first choice is copy all the details from the Trello card, sort it out, and manually create a to-do in Basecamp. The problem with this approach is it's actually very repetitive and tiresome. So here I would suggest that you bring in some automation so that whenever a new card is added in Trello, automatically create a to-do list in Basecamp. So in this video, we will be using Pabbly Connect to integrate Trello and Basecamp. The best part of using Pabbly Connect is there is no need for coding skills or programming knowledge. It can be done easily. Let me show you with an example. Okay, so this is my Trello account, and as you can see the board name is Moonstruck, and these are the list we have: Crater, Apollo, Equator, South Pole, North Pole. All the lists are present here, and the idea is that I'm going to add a card in this particular list. Okay, in this particular list, that is South Pole, I'm going to add a new card. The name of the card is Update Windows Vista. So this is the name of the card. Let me just add this card. And after adding the card, let me just add the description and set a due date. Due date is not really that important. Update to Windows 10 because Windows 10 is faster. So after that, let me just add a due date if you want. Okay, so I'm keeping the due date as 27th, and that is 27th of May. So let me just click on save. Okay, so we have added a new card called as Update Windows Vista. We have set the description as well as we have set the due date. Now the idea is that once we go to Basecamp, and when I refresh this, I can expect to find this newly created card as a to-do-list. So let me just refresh this. Okay, so let me just, okay, it's not completely refreshed. Okay, nope, it has not been refreshed. Let me just refresh this again. Okay, so basically we haven't got the result yet. The reason behind is I have set the delay for 2 minutes. The reason why I have set the delay for 2 minutes is because you will get it when I create a workflow, but I have delayed the process for 2 minutes. Okay, so basically after 2 minutes, I will refresh it, and then only you will find the to-do-list, that is Update Windows Vista. So let me just refresh this again because 2 minutes are over. Okay, so as you can see, we do have the to-do-list, that is Update Windows Vista. So basically this is the whole process. Once you create a card in Trello, it will be reflected as a to-do-list in Basecamp. Now to begin the actual integration process in the new tab, let me just type pabbly.com. So your obvious question is why pabbly.com? Well, we have an app called as Pabbly Connect that will integrate Trello and Basecamp. So this is the website of pabbly.com. Let me just click on sign in. Okay, so this is the dashboard of Pabbly Connect. As you can see, I already have made an account in Pabbly Connect. You can also build your own free account in just 2 minutes. So let me just scroll down, and here you will find Connect. Just click on Access Now. Okay, so basically we are going to create a new workflow. So to create a new workflow, let me just click on Create Workflow. Now, before I create a workflow, there is something I have to do. So I'm just going to close this, and let me just scroll down. And here, okay, so let me just search for that workflow. The name of the workflow is a Trello workflow. Okay, so basically I'm going to switch this workflow off. So basically this workflow has already integrated Trello and Basecamp, and because of this workflow we have got this result in Basecamp. Now the reason I have switched off this workflow is because since we are going to create a new workflow, this old workflow will create the problem of duplication of result. Basically the same result will be shown twice. So to avoid such things, I have switched off this workflow. But in your case, it is actually none of your concern because we are going to start from scratch by clicking on Create Workflow. Now we are going to give a name to this workflow. How about Trello to Basecamp? And let me just click on create. Okay. So when you click on create, a window appears in front of you. This is called as the trigger window. Now we are going to create a new workflow. If you directly want to access this workflow, you can clone the template using the link which I have shared in the description box. So in the choose app, how about we make it as Trello? Trello it is. Okay. So now in the trigger event, how about we make it as new card? New card is a trigger event. So your obvious question is, what is a trigger event? Trigger is basically a if statement. It asks a question, if the condition is met, what should be done? For example, if a new card is made in Trello, then what action should be taken by the system? Now we do have a ton of trigger events like new board, card moved to a list, new label, and so on. All of them are a bunch of trigger events. Now in case if you want more trigger events according to your choice, you just have to go to this part, that is the help section. Click here, and when you click on help section, you will be redirected to a place called as Pabbly forums. So in Pabbly forums, you have to make a request that you want so and so triggers. Okay, so let me just take you back to Pabbly Connect, and let me just click on connect. So in the new credentials, we have to fill in the username, the API key, and the token. So to get all these details, let me just click on here. Okay, so when you click on here, you will first find the developer API keys. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. Now comes the token as well as the username. So to get those details, let me just click on generate a token. Okay, so here this is my username. I'm just going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. So our username is ready. Now coming to the token. So token is generated. So let me just click on allow. So basically this is my token. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it here. So we have entered the token. So the username has been entered. We have entered the API key. We have entered the token. So let me just click on save. Okay, so when you click on save, you will find 3 blanks in front of you: the board, the list, and the webhook URL. So in case of board, it's basically asking which board you want to select from Trello. Okay, so in my case, I want to select this particular board. So as you can see, we do have a ton of boards. Okay, so all the boards that is present here is being shown here. And now out of all this board, I'm selecting this particular board, that is Moonstuck. So we have selected the board that is Moonstuck. Now in Moonstuck, we have a ton of lists. So these are all the lists that is present in this particular board, that is Moonstuck. Okay, so the idea is that all the list that is present here is simply reflected here in the drop down. See, as you can see, these are all the same list that is present in this particular board: Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, Capricorn. So now the idea is that what if I create a new list in this particular board? So let me just create a new list. So the name of the list is Monday. Okay, so this list has already been added. So how about task from Monday, task to Monday. Okay, so this is the name of the list, task to Monday. Let me just click on add list. So the list has been added, and let me just refresh this. So when we click on refresh, I can expect to find this newly created list in the drop down. So this is the list that is tasks to Monday. Okay, it has been created. Now basically we have to set up the webhook URL. Now in usual cases, we just copy this webhook URL and paste it into the triggering software. But in our case, we don't have to do this. In case of Trello, all we have to do is just click on save and send test request. So when I click on save and send test request, it will integrate and receive the data from this particular board in this particular list. So we have set up the webhook URL. Now basically it means that when a new card is created in this particular board and this particular list, Pabbly Connect has to capture the data. So as to ensure that Pabbly Connect captures this data, let me just click on this button, capture webhook response. Click this. Okay, so it is showing it is waiting for the data. So let me just take you to Trello. And here I'm just going to add a card. So the name of the card is 𝗪𝗵𝘆 Okay, so this is the name of the card, and let me just add the card. Now there is something you should know. First we create a card, then we add the description and the due date. Okay, basically the first process is you just create a card in Trello, and after that you can add the description as well as the due date. Now the card has been created, and we had set the trigger event as add a card. That is why Pabbly Connect might have already captured this data or not. Yes, the data has been captured, and this is the name of the card, that is 𝗪𝗵𝘆 𝗣𝗯𝗯𝗹𝘆. But unfortunately, we also want to add the description as well as the due date. Now this is only possible if we go back and let me just in the new same card add the description. The Macintosh has to be upgraded. Okay, so this is the description and I'm going to set the due date. Even though it's not really important, but we are going to select the due date as 29th of May 2021. So let me just click on save and let me just click on save. So we have set the card, okay, and we have entered the description and the due date, but unfortunately we don't have the details of the description as well as the due date. Now, so to get the description, let me just introduce one more window. So this window is called as the action window. So the very idea of introducing this action window is we have to receive the data, that is the description as well as the due date from Trello. So that is why I'm going to mention the choose app as Trello. Now in the action event, we want to get the card details because description and the due date are the card details. So let me just click on get card details. Okay, so let me just click on connect. In the new credentials, we again have to fill the username, API key and the token. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to click on the recent setting. So this is my recent setting. Okay, and let me just click on save. So when you click on save, a blank has appeared in front of you, the card ID. So basically this is my card ID. Okay, so this is basically my card ID. I'm going to copy this detail. I'm not going to copy this. I basically want to input this detail here. Okay, so instead of copying, we are just going to map this particular detail. So let me just click here and let me just click on the drop down. And here we have the card ID. Okay, so we have mapped it. And let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so as you can see, we have got the description. So this is the description, the Macintosh has to be upgraded. And we also have the due date. So where is our due date? Yeah, so we also got the due date. So basically this is the whole gist. Now we have to create a Todoist in Basecamp. So let me introduce one more window. And this action window, we are going to choose app as Basecamp because we want to create a Todoist in Basecamp. Basecamp it is. Now in the action event, how about we make it as, let me just introduce the action event, that is create to-do list. Okay, so this is the one and let me just click on connect. In the new credentials, let me just click on connect with Basecamp. Okay, so it is asking me, should I integrate? Yes, I will allow access. So there is something you should know. Pabbly Connect doesn't take any chances with your data. Your data is 100% safe and secure with us. So on the basis of that trust, let me just press OK. So as you can see, you will find a set of blanks, the account, the project, the to-do type and the name and the description. Now let's deal with the account. So basically my account name is 𝗪𝗲𝗖, so that is why it is showing 𝗪𝗲𝗖. Okay, and then we have the project. Now the default project, it is showing it as awesome. So let me just take you back and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new project. Okay, so for your consideration, I'm going to create a new project. Now there is something you should know. So these are all the projects that is present in my Basecamp account. See, so let me just show you. So these are all the projects that is present in my Basecamp account, Awesome, Slack and so on. So what if I create a new project? So let me just create a new project. Now since this data is coming from Trello, I'm letting this project name to be Trello. So a new project, that is Trello, has been created. So let me just go to Pabbly Connect and let me just refresh this. Okay, so we have refreshed it and let us explore where is our card. Okay, where is our project, that is Trello is at the top. So here there is something you should do. Now in select to do only, we have to make sure that the first list is, let me just refresh this also. Okay, so let us have a look. So the first one is always, since our project is at the top, okay, Trello is at the top, we have to make sure the first one, okay, the first to do is always the first one. The first to do is always the one related to the one at the top. Now in case if we had selected awesome is at the second place, so we have to select the second to do. So in our case, this is our second to do. Okay, now in case if we had selected, how about Slack, so Slack is our third project, so we basically select the third to do. Okay, do not get confused, since Trello is the first one, so I'm selecting the first to do. Okay, now in the name, we are just going to map in the name. So this is the name that we have received. So the name of the card is remove Macintosh, and the description is something you get from the card detail. the Macintosh has to be upgraded. Okay, so basically we have got this detail. So we have mapped all this detail. All we have to do is just click on save and send test request to create a Todoist. So let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so the API response is showing the data has been sent to Basecamp. So let's explore. So this is the list. This is the project, that is a Trello. So yeah, we do have Macintosh, remove Macintosh. Now you may wonder that our integration is over, but it is actually far from over. Now let me just take you back to Trello, okay, and let me just add one more card. So the name of the card is Upgrade Windows Vista. Okay, so this is the name of the card, and let me just add a card. After adding the card, we will enter the description and we will set the due date. So we are going to we are going to set the description as well as the due date. So the description is Windows Vista is slow. Add Windows 10. And let me just click on save, and before I click on save, let me just add the due date. So the due date I'm giving now is 18th of May, and let me just click on save. Let me just click on save. Okay, so we have set the description. Excellent. So let me just take you to Basecamp and let me just refresh this. Okay, so as you can see, the window has been refreshed, and we do have the to-dos. And the Todoist is basically one is showing upgrade Windows Vistas, but unfortunately we also have 3 more of them. Okay, so basically these are all the clones, and we really don't need them. So as you can see in these three, okay, in these three we don't have the description. We don't have this basic description. So these 3 were created first, and this one was created when the description was entered. So my point is very clear. So when you create a card, it will send the data, that is this. Okay, then the card get updated, so that is why it is showing this. Then we add the description, that is why it is showing this. And when we have added the description as well as the due date, that is why it is showing the final Todoist. So basically we have to set up a mechanism so that these extra 3 are not here. Only a total complete one, that is with the description and the name is available. Okay, so basically we don't want these 3. So we have to actually set up a mechanism. So how about I have an idea. So the idea is that if the card is created in Trello, how about we just wait or delay it for 2 minutes while we add the description and the due date. So the reason is, when we just set up a delay of 2 minutes, it will send the data as a whole complete package. Okay, it will send the card name, the description, and the due date as a complete package. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm just taking you back to Pabbly Connect, and I am going to introduce a module called as the delay module. Now this will come in between the trigger window. So basically this was our trigger window, and this was the first action window. Okay, in between them I'm going to keep a delay module. So in the choose app, how about we make it as delay. Okay, so basically we are going to delay the data flow for 2 minutes. So the delay is for minutes, okay, and the delay value is 2 minutes. So let me just click on save. Okay, so the status is showing it as success. We have basically delayed the data flow for 2 minutes. Now this delay should be known to all these windows. So that is why I'm going to click on F5 to refresh. In my case, in my system, F5 is for refreshing. So I have refreshed it. Okay, so the setup has been refreshed. And once again, I'm going to create a new card in Trello. So let me just click on add card. And the name of the card is 𝗪𝗵𝘆 operating system is awesome. So this is the card name. Okay, so the card has been created. So basically now Pabbly Connect will delay this information for 2 minutes. Now while this information is delayed for 2 minutes, we are going to enter the description and set the due date. Okay, so the idea is that it will send the whole package, the whole information as one single package. Okay, not different as the card name, the description, or the due date, as a one single package. So let's enter the description. Windows. No, how about upgrade to C line. So this is the description, and if you want we can also set the due date. So the due date, how about we keep it as 27th of May 2021. Okay, we are going to click on save, and let me just click on save. Okay, so we have set the description. Let me just cancel this. Okay, so we have cancelled this, we have entered the card name. So let us explore in Basecamp what is the result. So let me just refresh this. Okay, so as you can see, the data hasn't arrived. So this is because, as I mentioned, we have delayed the data flow for 2 minutes. Let it be 2 minutes and the data will come. Okay, so after a delay of 2 minutes, we have got the data. C-Line operating system is awesome. So this was the card name and this was the description, upgrade to C-Line. Now, this is far from over. There is something else you have to do. Now, of course, we have only got only one data, only one tutus instead of 4. In case of Vista, it was 4. Now, there is something else you should know. Now, when a card is created in Trello, it also get updated. Okay, so basically it again sends the data 2 times. Now, to avoid the updation of data, in some cases it only happens, in some cases it updates the card. Now, to avoid the updation of the card, and when the card gets updated, it keeps sending on the data. So to avoid the data flow when a card is updated in Trello, we have to set up a filter. The filter is basically the data should only flow when the card is created. If the card is deleted or if the card is updated, then the data should not flow. So basically, I'm going to set up a filter. Now, the filter will come here in between the trigger window or the action window. And we are just going to set up the action window as filter. So filter is basically if. It basically sends a question that if the card is created, then only the data should flow. Now, we are going to go to the first accordion. And here I'm just going to type card. Okay, card. Okay, this one. Action type create card. So basically, if this is equal to create card, then only the data should flow. Okay, follow this step. It's actually pretty easy. So let me just explain you once again. When a card is created in Trello, it basically also updates it. Okay, so basically we have 2 times the data flow. Once that card is created and the second time when the card is updated. So to avoid this duplication of results, we have to set up a filter. Basically, it will send the data only when the card is created, not updated. So that is why we have set the filter, that when the card is created is equal to create card, then only the data should flow. So let me just click on save and send test request. Okay, so the condition is true because the data was sent only when the card was created. Now, if it was shown the action type as update card is not equal to create card, the message would have been the condition is false. Okay, so the new window, the new paradigm has been made. So what I'm going to do here is I should know that all these windows should know about this newly created filter. So that is why I'm just going to click on F5 once again to refresh it. Okay, so the system has been refreshed. Excellent. So let me just take you back to Trello and we are going to create one more card. So the name of the card is Mountain Lion. Update Macintosh. Okay, so this is the operating system of Macintosh, Mountain Lion. Let me just click on add card. Okay, so the card has been added and let me just add the description. So basically the description is Mountain Lion is faster. So let me just add the due date. So we are going to set the due date as 15th of April or 15th of May. Okay, 15th of May. And let me just click on save. So the description has been set. The mountain lion is faster. And we have entered the card name, that is Mountain Lion Update Macintosh. So let me just take you back to Basecamp and let me just refresh this. Now it will be delayed for 2 minutes and we have also set the filter, that is only the data should be sent when the card is updated. So as you can see, in case of C-Line, we do have 4 of them. Okay, this is something that I didn't show it earlier. So as you can see, we had 4 of them. Okay, C-Line operating system is awesome. Upgrade to C-Line. So the difference between the earlier version, that is upgrade Windows Vista, and C-Line operating system is basically there is also the description present. So let me just show you. So in the first case, the first data when it was sent, upgrade Windows Vista, we didn't have the description. Similarly, for the second, we don't have the description. It was only in the last case it was showing the description. Windows Vista is slow at Windows 10. Okay. Now in case of C-Line, in the first case itself, we have the description because we have delayed the data for 2 minutes. And in the second case, we also have the description. The third case also, basically we have got everything with the description. But since the card is getting updated, since the card is created in Trello, it always gets updated. It is again sending the data 3 times extra. So that is why we have set up the filter. The filter was when a card is created in Trello. So to avoid this data flow when a card is updated, we have set up the filter. Okay, so I think the 2 minutes delay is nearly over. So let me just refresh this once again and let us see. Yes, this time we only have one data with full complete description, the total data as a complete package. We have the card name, that is Mountain Lion Update Macintosh, and then we have this one, that is Mountain Lion is faster. That is basically your description. Now the presence of this data shows that we have successfully integrated Trello and Basecamp with help of Pabbly Connect. Now before you leave, let me just take you to Pabbly Connect and let me just minimize this whole window. So basic idea is that I'm going to explain you the whole mechanism in a nutshell. First, you integrated Trello to Pabbly Connect, and then you have set up the filter. The reason for setting up the filter is basically we don't want the data when a card is updated. We only want the data when a card is created. That is why we have set up the filter. And then we have established the delay module so that the delay could be made for 2 minutes, so that the card name, the description, as well as the due date can be sent as one single package. And of course, we have set up this action window to get the card details. And last not the least, we have the Basecamp integration so that to create a to-do list. So now there is a perfect flow of data between Trello and Basecamp. Excellent.